everybody, Susan Lazar, Hart here, your congruency coach for seekers and creatives asking for a more joy-filled and fulfilling life. And welcome, 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 welcome. I'm the creator of Congruent Living Coaching and the Congruent Living Assessment. And I'm just trying to see if this is, it's so weird. It kind of looks like the whole room is slanting like this. Never mind, we're good. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're asking questions about being present, right? The month of November is all about being present. There's been a huge shift on the planet and the solar system. Hey, Maureen, welcome, welcome. And in ourselves as well, because we are part of the chemical makeup of the planet and the solar system. Hey, Sandy, welcome, welcome. Everybody's popping in. I love it, I love it. Tell us where you're from. We've got an international community here. I love it when y'all start talking with each other. This is a topic that has come to me through my clients asking me about what's going on with them right now. There's been a huge onslaught of information, not necessarily clarity, right, around the world. So now is the time to ask ourselves, am I really being present with me? With what I'm asking to create, with who I be. Now, being present is about being present. It's not about finding where you're present. It's not about looking for where you're present. Being present is actually being with you, yourself, with no judgment, right? And just being still with that. And then here come the questions, right? Am I playing in a space that brings me joy? Because do you notice when you're not joyful, you're actually not present, right? Your mind is going a million miles an hour. So one of the keys and clues we'll be talking about today is just being present with you, with no judgment. No I have to do's. No place that somebody else is taking up in your mind, in your being. Hey, Namrata, welcome, welcome. So, as this is not a conversation, as this is a conversation, it's not a dialogue or a monologue, come on in with your questions, with your thoughts, with your ahas, right? I love to have this as a round table discussion. Because there's no such thing as a question that's going on just for you. Believe me, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning most mornings, and I find at 4:30, hey Vesna, I tend to pick up everything that's going on, and it's like my mind is going beep, 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 beep. Yeah, I got hard on that one, right? And it's really the willingness to be present with myself and what I desire, right? So the first clue is where you're living. And I mean living with you. Living with and from what brings you joy. Is it bringing you joy? Is what you're creating bringing you joy, right? And the second is, are you willing to just be quiet with you? Tap in to who you truly, 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 truly be. That inner being, that spark that came here and chose a body for a human experience right now in this 10 seconds. Are you willing to be present with that? Because that's a place of no judgment, right? We're often encouraged to more. What do you want more? What do you want to create more of? What do you want to create more of? And there's nothing wrong with that. But are you willing to be present with what you are creating now, with who you be and what you be now, right? And acknowledge, wow, this is an amazing life. This is what I've been asking for, and I'll have more, thank you. See, there's a difference between I'll have more and I need to have more, right? So that's another clue, is check in with yourself. Are you asking from a place of need or a place of acknowledgement? Namrata, how to be present and aware at each moment. Again, Namrata, it's about not how to be present. We are being present. I mean, when I'm pissed off and I'm being a total jerk, I'm being present with that, honey. Right? And the truth is, sometimes it brings me joy. I love to indulge. I know, we all know when we put on a role and we act it out. And I'll ask my clients, well, what do you love about that? And they say, I don't love anything about it. Well, actually, there is something there, This week I've become really aware in listening to my language. Clue number 4, listen to your languaging, right? Where's the acknowledgement of, wow, this is so cool being present with this. And is this what I'm asking to create? Yeah, oh, I got a heart and a thumbs up on that. Yeah. Hi, Shabam, welcome, welcome. So, are we in the right lane? Let's see, so we've covered a lot in 7 minutes. Let's see some thumbs up or hearts, and again, please come in with your questions, right? Because this is with our questions in mind. This is how we open this up for people who are watching now and people who are watching later. And if you're watching later, hashtag replay. Oh, I got a thumbs up! Yay! Yeah, it's it's a very, very important thing. Hey, Julie, welcome. That we start listening to the language that we're using with ourselves, and that's a huge key to being present. So being in the question, does checking in on your joy meter, right? Does this bring you joy, right? With no judgment, right? It's not, people have a point of view. Well, if I'm joyful, then I have to be producing this, this, and this. Or if I'm joyful, then I have to be this on my success meter. Walking in the woods, being present. This morning I just took my shoes off and just walked outside, and there's frost on the ground, and I just asking my body to receive from planet Earth. Brought my body joy, being in joy, right? When we're in joy, we are being present. Yeah. And it's going to look different for everybody else. Namrata. Hey, Kelly, welcome, welcome, welcome. How to manage multiple things. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question, Namrata. Is there joy in managing? Right? Do you get the energy of I have to manage something? Right? There's no question there. And we've talked a lot about being present with what you're asking to create. Hey, Teresa, welcome. Good morning. Right? Being present with what we're asking to create. Right? Are you creating from lack? Or are you creating because, oh, this is kind of cool. I'm creating this, and I wonder what else is possible here. Right? What's underneath this that's asking to be born? And is now the time. Right? We're taught in this reality you have to manage something. Well, that means there's no question. That means there's no joy. Right? It's like, who put you in charge of your life? Right? Who put you in charge of your life? Do you get the energy of that? Right? There's no present there. It's like, you be responsible. You're in charge of this. Well, does it bring you joy? Right? Are you creating from a place of joy? Whether it's your life, your living, your day, your moment, whatever that is. Right? And the thing is, there's some really deep questions in there. I'm asking you, your home play is to just sit down and be with a piece of paper or some sticky notes or whatever that works for you. I'm looking down because I've got like three sticky notes right here on my computer. and I could think, oh, this is required, or what? And then I can look at them and like, oh, no, yeah, no. Oh, this is calling me. Oh, this is tugging at me, right? Oh, I'd like to create greater with this. That's being present. Namrata says, if it's easy, then yes. Okay. Namrata, why don't you get on an exploratory call with me? Because I'm very grateful for your questions. And it feels like there's a little bit more underneath all of that, right? So if that entices you, go over to Congruent Living Coaching, pop in, and let's have an exploratory session. And let's see really what it is that is keeping you tugged into not being present, right? Yeah. Because the thing is, when we're willing to be present with what isn't working, what is working, then it opens up a whole vista of possibilities for us, right? If we find and we hear ourselves going over what doesn't work or what didn't work, or what if it was easy, right? We're not actually playing with a language that the universe can play with. Because we are in presence with the universe as well. Everything is here for us. Everything we've asked to create, it's all here for us. It's about being present with it in a language that creates a vibration that attracts you to what you're asking to create and attracts what you're asking to create to you. Namrata says, thank you with a big heart. Yay, thank you, Namrata. You know, because we can use a language against ourselves, and that's totally not being present with who we be. Or we can facilitate the vibrations of what we're asking for. And it's being really clear with ourselves, right? It's being very clear with ourselves. Oh, so truth. Am I creating this for someone else? Am I being present for someone else's needs, wants, and desires? Right? Am I creating from FOMO, fear of missing out? Right? Be present with that. And then take yourself for a walk, right? And just ask some questions. So what is it that does bring me joy? It's building from your foundation. You've often heard me talk about that. What is your foundation? Oh, Namara says, wonderfully shared. Thank you so much. Yeah. What is your foundation? What is that bubble, that juice that creates with you and for you? Has it shifted and changed? Are you trying to be present with something that you promised yourself that you would do 5 years ago, a year ago, yesterday? You know it doesn't work when you're bumping up against an energy and that bumps right back at you. Because that's the vibration that you're being present with. Yeah. That's the vibration that you're being present with. So that's my challenge for you today, is to ask yourself, am I really being present with what I am creating? And that requires gratitude and appreciation. Right? And have I decided I need to have more? When you decide you need something, you get the energy of that, you get wrapped up in your story, and a story doesn't allow you to be present. Yeah. Hey, Mary, welcome, welcome, welcome. When we go into our story, we are not being present. Right? Okay? We are being in someone else's requirement and desirement of who we should be, what we should be, and how we should be. Oh, I got a big heart on that. Yeah. So that's where that question, does this bring me joy, come in. Teresa, change our thoughts, change our reality. Absolutely. Absolutely. And be willing to be present, because your reality shifts and changes all the time. Your reality is not a fixed anything. You know, a lot of people are talking about 3D reality, 4D reality, 5D reality, 6D reality, whatever that is for you, right? But it doesn't mean that's your, my target is to leave the 3D reality and go into the 6D reality. No. Be present with you. You are a multi-dimensional being. You exist in all time and space, past, present, and future. It's a choice to show up right now, right here, and be present with what you're choosing. Is this making sense? Can I see some thumbs up? And yeah, it's very, 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 very important for you to be honest with you, and to be present. Now is the time. There are huge shifts. Things are shifting really quickly. The veils are lifting, right? It's about being present with who you came here to be and what you came here to do. That's what this is all about, right? And if you're being in the question instead of the answer, if you're willing to set out your day in a way that has you living fully, right? One of the things that I work with my clients is being willing to set up their day so they actually live fully, right? Live presently. Live in joy. Namrata, how can I create in the kingdom of we by keeping myself first without being selfish or separating from me? If I am creating for others, isn't for me. Again, Namrata, come on over and have an exploratory session. When and I love this, thank you so much, right? I love this, right? Keep it simple and just breathe, says Teresa. Absolutely. If we're using languages, how can I create in the kingdom of we by keeping myself first without being, where are you in all of that? Right? Now, many of us have been taught to run mantras, run questions, sleep all night listening to something, whatever that is for you. All the tricks and toys and keys and lessons and classes in the world are not going to change anything. You are the catalyst for change. What is it that you're requiring and desiring? It's about getting to the truth of you, and you start to use language that invites in who you be, your presence. It's a habit, right? It's a habit. Denigrating ourselves is a habit. We're taught, hey, Becky, welcome, welcome. We're taught that. Right? We're taught to denigrate ourselves. It's just a habit. It keeps you out of being present with you. So this month is all about presence and being present. So I really am looking for your questions. Come on back in for those of you who are listening later. Becky says, catalyst of change in the truth of you. Absolutely. Yeah. With lots of hearts. Come on in, write in your questions. This Ask Susan is for you and about you. It's about the change that we all be together. So if you have a question, if something's popping for you, write it down on our Congruent Living Facebook. I come in every day, right? Have an exploratory session with me. Let's explore what it is that's holding you back from being present with you. And let's see truly what else is possible. Go to SusanLazarHart.com, my website. You'll see Congruent Living Coaching. Just read about it. See if that pops for you. It's sometimes, it's important to have, sorry, my son keeps writing me lovely notes. It's my son. You're so welcome, Namrata. Sometimes, it's always for me. I mean, I have mentors that I work with, right? Having a mentor, having somebody who has your back, having somebody who just can slide in and look through different eyes at what you're actually not willing to see about you. For myself, it opens up windows and doors to possibilities. Teresa says your body guides you what choices are good for you. It's the willingness to listen to your body, right? Again, being present with your body. Thank you, Teresa. Absolutely. And we'll be talking about bodies in the future. Thank you so much. I will make sure to bring that up for this November of presence. Yeah. Any other questions? Anything else popping for people? I love to keep these short and sweet. I so appreciate you popping in on a Sunday. And for those of you who pop in later, #replay. And again, come on in with your questions. I read these every day. Yeah. Anything else popping for people before we say goodbye? Re-listen to this. Ask yourself with the 4 key clues, are there any that you're actually, you haven't been present with, right? And let's see what we can create together. Any hints, Becky, any hints about sitting and being present with grief and loss? That's a great question. It's really about when we have grief or loss, we tend to close in on that energy. Rather than, it's a point of view that it's grief and loss. Right? So I might ask you, what are you sensing? Right? And write down what you're sensing. Write down that awareness that it's bringing you and be with it, indulge it. Right? There's often times where we get a sense of something that isn't working, that it's, whether we call it grief or loss, there's something, when someone passes on, there's a hole in our world, right? So it's really about appreciating them and acknowledging there's a hole in my world right now. Animals do that, right? They take the time, they lick their wounds, they be present with them. They don't put on like a hi, right? That's not being present. Gift yourself whatever it is that you require to nurture you. And let's see what that creates. Thanks so much, Becky. Hey, Harish. Welcome, welcome. Teresa, be grateful for your life you are living. Namrata, wells are thin and true self just wish to express thank you so much. You're so welcome, Namrata. Becky, let me know if that assists you at all. That's a great question. And the truth is, there's all different ways of grief and loss, right? So how many of you have decided that there's a specific way to be with grief and loss? Yeah, Becky says thank you. Yeah. Again, whatever it is that you're aware of, ask yourself, what are you sensing, right? And gift yourself whatever it is that you require. That's being present. I remember when I gave birth, one of my brothers was killed in a car accident. And I can remember in our family, everybody met for 10 days at night and they prayed. And I can remember people coming up to me in my room while I was doing my homework with presents for me, with people who never even talked to me before. And it was their way of dealing with the grief and loss of my brother. Right? It had nothing to do with me. I knew that then. It was about me receiving them and appreciating them for what it is that they were going through. We're often taught to be a certain way in grief and loss. When I went to look at my brother, it was an open casket. And I was just looking at him. I knew he had gone. I knew this was a body with makeup on. And my uncle grabbed me to his chest and said, "Don't look, don't look, don't look." Again, it had nothing to do with me, right? It had to do with the way that he was being with that grief and that loss. I had my own way of being with it. I would walk around after everybody left at night and just be present with all the energies that were in the room while everybody was sleeping. Right? We, again, indulge it, whatever it is that brings you calm, that brings you peace, whatever that is, it's going to look different than anybody else. Yeah. Yay. And it has nothing to do with you. Absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't. It really actually doesn't. We're taught a certain way to be with grief, with loss. And the fact is we never really lose anything. Right? Like how many lifetimes will we meet again? An appreciation and gratitude for whatever it is that you learned from this person. Yeah. Great question. Thank you, Becky. On that note, do we have any more questions? If not, have a re-listen. Give yourself some time today to be present with you. And acknowledge that you actually create everything. What is it that I've been asking for that has given me this awareness today? That's what I was asking myself at 5 o'clock this morning. I was like, so what is it that I've been asking for that gives me this awareness right now? It was like, okay. Ask yourself that question and pop in the answers for you. I check in every day. And if you're looking for more, come on over to Congruent Living Coaching. It's a space and place in which I work with my clients in a way that's totally present with what it is that they're asking to create. Right? Because when two or more are gathered, it's amazing what the ahas, the spaces we go, the places we go, when you're in a space of non-judgment, when you're in a space of total presence and appreciation. Kind of changes everything. Congruent Living Coaching, check it out on SusanLazarHart.com. So I will see you next Tuesday, next Wednesday on my personal page, Congruent Living Coaching. I'm like spaced out today. I'll see you on Wednesday on my personal page, Susan Lazar Hart, with Congruency Quickies. And I'll be coming in here and checking. So if something here just popped for you or rang for you or you just got an awareness, write it down, okay? Pop it in here. And I promise I'll respond. And if you want to keep it private, you can private message me. You're welcome, Besna. You're welcome, Namrata. And if you're looking for more, just pop into an exploratory session on Congruent Living Coaching page. You'll find it under Reach Out for Me. And Let's see what we can create together, because the world needs more of you, not less of you. Live boldly, love greatly, and be that fearless leader you came here to be. I adore you. Thank you so much, and I so appreciate all of you. Bye-bye.